Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Between our visitors and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. Well, the sun has gone down and the mercury going down as well. To be expected, I guess, here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Washington Redskins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. The starters now on offense, and Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's King, operating from the gun. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play. Well, the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
On second down now, it's Hines. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Well, look now at our starting defense. This unit currently 7th in the NFL, Charles, in stopping the run.
This is a unit that understands what needs to be done to stop the run. And they're a team that goes out and executes as well. Yeah, it's the mantra, stop it, but then going out and getting it done. 2 different things. They combine them. One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And at 6'5", 270, just a monster.
Absolute monster with a really high motor.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end He's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He's going deep for Brown. And got his man complete. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 43 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he's got room. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Right there on the coverage was the safety, Jesse Bates. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. Well, they are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down. And no move to take the offense on the field. And Brown's got it for a Charger touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guy.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
Looking to throw on second down. King. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Joey Bosa in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. 6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Complete. It's Henry. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
23 yards on the tuck and run. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And he's got his man. It's Henry for a Chargers touchdown.
They can't see us.
Hunter Henry. His 2nd touchdown on the season. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On second down, it's Hines. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He's got Evans. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Let's go. Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
Used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Hines. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And picked up by the Chargers.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 38. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? On second down now. It's Hines, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how you get
going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
Well, these turnovers are a big, big problem, and a huge part of why they're behind on the scoreboard, too. That's now a fumble, an interception on back-to-back drives, and you just can't expect to do that and be successful in the NFL or any league for that matter.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Right there on the coverage was the safety, Jesse Bates. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that
and Brown's got it. Touchdown, Chargers. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. King. He completes it to Evans. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. The Redskins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is King. From the gun, he'll throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Jones. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Steps away to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Looking to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Off near the 42, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. King now, throwing on first down. And Diggs has it. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give the Redskins 13 there on a first down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Now King on 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
King throwing again on 2nd and 10. He finds his target. It's Evans. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. From 10 yards out, and the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. And he's got his man on the out route. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Marquise Brown was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A gain of 32 that time. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again. And Brown's got it for a Charger touchdown. Marquise Brown. Seconds of the first.
Come on, set. 30 base, let's go. 54, block 54. Man out, man out, man out. Ready.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Forced out to his left. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They're going to look to throw. It's caught by Jackson. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Hey, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Now back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space.
And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. It's their quarterback taking it in. For the Chargers, they're lead. Third quarter action, and this offense will have a 1st and 10 as they get set for the next drive. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And an alley to run. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Redskins scoop it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.